Even for experienced sailors, used to the worst the world's oceans can throw at them, an 8-week voyage across the Southern Ocean and around Cape Horn is a rare and momentous challenge. Throughout history, many have come this way, and many never made it home. As well as navigating the Lord Nelson through these treacherous waters, the ship's second officer also filmed the experiences of the ship and her crew. The footage in this report is his.
The only people who get to sail there are round the world racing sailors and some mad people like us, just taking sailing ship. We haven't seen a ship for 50 days or something. It's good to go there and to see how does it feel if you're choosing sailing as your day job, as your career. It's a very important experience.
For the volunteer crew of able-bodied and disabled people, it wasn't a voyage to be undertaken lightly. They had serious concerns.
The fact that I might not come back. So I had my will drawn up and what to do if I got badly injured.
Sailing one of the world's most hostile oceans wasn't the only challenge. A crew of almost 50 had to live and work together for nearly 2 months without any sight of land or other ships.
62 days, a little niggle becomes a rather big niggle. But, you know, we all survived, we didn't throw each other off the ship. But yes, that was a challenge in itself, because we are confined, we can't get off.
In the end, the weather was largely benign, and rounding Cape Horn was almost an anticlimax.
Becalmed going round Cape Horn, of all the things I imagined and worried about, being becalmed, drifting round Cape Horn wasn't one of them.
Next, the Lord Nelson headed further south, becoming one of the few modern tall ships to visit Antarctica. On board was first-time sailor Kate Hurst, who also suffers from seasickness. She once thought of going on a cruise to the Antarctic, but was told that because she's in a wheelchair, she wouldn't be able to go ashore. There were no such restrictions on the Lord Nelson, and she was even able to overcome illness.
Every bit as bad as I expected. I struggled going south, so the crossing across the Drake Passage was pretty rough and pretty, yes, rough in every sense. And then once we got to Antarctica along the peninsula, we were sort of between the mainland and the islands, so it was much calmer. And obviously you've got the memories of being in such an amazing place and seeing the wildlife and just, you know, being very fortunate to be in the place, but to do it on a tall ship and do it with a really great bunch of people.
Ironically, some of the worst weather the ship encountered was returning from Antarctica. It was so bad, wheelchairs had to be strapped to the deck, a memorable, if frustrating, experience.
The wheelchair rolling around, having no control and having to give in to the unwound straps and tie down the wheelchair. That was, yeah, that was, because I don't like to be tied down.
By summer, the Lord Nelson was in Canada, getting ready for the last leg of her 2-year, 50,000-mile voyage around the world. Among the crew, a sailor who left the UK with her in October 2012 and is now aboard for the trip back home. Tomorrow we hear about his adventures and how they've helped him conquer his fear, not of the sea, but of flying. Richard Jones, ITV News, Halifax, Canada.